Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 of the Faster Way to Fat Loss. I am so thrilled to have you. As you are hopping on this call, please use the chat feature. Tell me your one main goal this week. So again, as you are hopping on, go ahead and use the chat feature. Tell me your one main goal this week as we go through the Faster Way to Fat Loss. Today, I am going to share some tips with you for low carb macro day. I'm also going to share some expectations regarding how you might feel. And I'm going to also share a few of my Thanksgiving tips and my personal strategy for Thanksgiving. Now, I know many of you are actually in Canada or you're in different countries. We've got a gal in France. We have people from all over the world. So if this is not Thanksgiving week for you, just use these tips for Christmas. So again, if this is not Thanksgiving week for you in particular, use these tips for Christmas. But I will share several tips and we'll have time to answer questions as well. As you guys are hopping on, go ahead and share your one main goal for the week. We like to have one main goal instead of several. All right, I'm going to read just a couple of these goals. We have some gals on Zoom as well. All right, Suzanne says she's hoping to be mindful of the treats I do eat on Thanksgiving and owning those. Love it. All right, Ange says is hoping to learn my Fitness Pal and the program well. Absolutely. This is week 1, guys. We are week 1, day 1. So I'm very happy to have you on this call. We're going to talk through tips for success, but take the pressure off of yourselves. Again, you've heard me say it once. I'll say it 100 times. Our goal, our focus is progress, not perfection. Okay? We're not expecting you to perfectly hit each macro, carbs, fats, and protein today. We're not expecting you, if this is your first round, to hit every rep and set. We are focused on progress, not perfection. All right, Sarah says, my goal this week is to keep nutrition tight while visiting my parents. Really good goal. Beth, good morning. Just want to continue tracking and stay on track with the holiday. Absolutely. Pamela, get my workouts in even when at the lake house. That sounds wonderful, Pamela. I'm a little jealous. All right, Teresa says, goal is to actually hit my carbs on regular and low macro day. That's a fantastic goal. It's so important for thyroid function. Elizabeth says, food prep all meals outside of Thanksgiving and Friendsgiving. That's a great goal. I love it. All right, Bobby, my goal this week is to meet my daily macro goals. I love it. I love the focus on consuming enough of the right macronutrients. That is such a fantastic focus through Thanksgiving week. Yes, Brandy says main goal, exercise while away from home. If you are away from your typical routine, you typically would do the gym or you have an at-home gym and you're visiting family, whatever the case may be, I probably do the at-home version of the workout unless you have access to a gym when you're traveling, maybe a hotel gym, whatever the case. But you can be flexible this week. Let's look at, the 3 different plans. We have the low-impact beginner version. We also have the at-home version, which is going to be applicable for many of you while traveling. Additionally, we have the gym version. All right, Ginger says, traveling for Thanksgiving to New Orleans. Very fun. My goal is nutrition, which is going to be tough. I'm going to share some of my tips, and we will hear from returning clients as well. If you're a returning client on this call, I've seen several of you. Welcome back. We would love to hear your tips. I told you guys this. November rounds, holiday rounds are my favorite because you ladies have said, listen, we are committed to good nutrition and exercise even through the holidays, and we're going to get a jump start. Just imagine how you will feel January 1st, 2019 when you're already feeling progress and passion toward your goals and you already have the confidence that you can be successful in accomplishing your ambitious wellness goals through 2019. I just love that you ladies are here. Congratulations. Pat yourselves on the back just for being here, just for showing up through Thanksgiving week when most people are gaining weight. The average weight gain is 4 to 8 pounds. And those of us on this call, we are the exception to that rule. We're saying, listen, we're going to prioritize preventative healthcare. We're going to prioritize healthy eating and fitness through the holidays. That's huge. So pat yourselves on the back. few tips for you as we go through week 1, day 1. Again, if you're a returning client, welcome back, but you are feeling this too. So you understand kind of the challenge of week 1, day 1, low carb macro. Couple expectations for you. You might feel some detox symptoms, okay? You might feel that your body is transitioning from being a sugar burner, where you were simply burning off glycogen continually, to now becoming a fat burner, and that transition can be a little bit uncomfortable. Many of you came to me after years and years and years of eating breakfast early morning. Okay, so you had that break fast meal early morning because the wellness industry told you to do so. You're having a shake, you're having eggs, you're having cereal, whatever the case may be. And you were continually burning off glycogen all day long. That was the first fuel source. You were never really dipping into the fat stores or burning triglycerides for fuel. You were never fasted. This can be a bit of an uncomfortable transition where we want you to become a pro-fat burner, I call it. You are currently a sugar burner, burning off glycogen for fuel. We're going to transition your body to becoming a pro-fat burner, which, trust me, is a good place to be and a much better situation for you. But you're going to have some detox symptoms. You're going to go through a transition period. You might have a headache later today, tomorrow afternoon. Set the expectation now that it's going to be a bit challenging, okay? You might be real tired. Tomorrow afternoon, headache, fatigue. Wednesday morning, headache, fatigue, detox symptoms, as I mentioned. These are uncomfortable. It could be a little bit challenging, but it's very normal symptoms. Okay, so again, uncomfortable, challenging, some negative symptoms, detox symptoms, but it is normal. So no need to post on the page tomorrow and say, oh my gosh, I have a headache. That can't be good. I need to pull out. No, it's probably going to happen if this is your first round and you're transitioning your body from being a sugar burner to a pro-fat burner. Couple tips, be sure you're drinking a lot of water. This time of year when it's a little bit more chilly outside and we're doing a high protein, low sodium lifestyle, it can be easy to dehydrate, and I want to be sure that you're focused on water intake. And remember, that signal that tells you that you are hungry is the same feeling that tells you you're thirsty. So many times we wake up in the morning and we're like, oh my God, I'm famished, but in fact you are simply dehydrated. Okay, so let's go ahead and be sure that you are drinking plenty of water. I usually drink room temperature water simply because my body absorbs it faster, easier, but don't get hung up on that. If you want to have some ice cold water, totally fine as well. Lots and lots of water. Add a little bit of lemon to your water if you want even more of those detox benefits. I personally am drinking black coffee, espresso coffee this morning as well. I am the mom of a baby. She is sick right now. We are up quite a bit at night. I think 3 nights ago I only got 4 hours of sleep or something ridiculous. So mom is drinking coffee. You guys are welcome to drink black coffee as well. If you absolutely must put creamer in that coffee, let's stay under 50 calories. Okay, if you absolutely must put stevia in your coffee, let's just have that in moderation. This is not an eat this, not that program, but most of you are going to want to try a transition to black coffee. Okay, most of you are going to want to try that. Couple tips for you as we go through week 1. I would love for you to pre-plan your macros using the MyFitnessPal tool the day before or the morning of. So for example, low carb macro day today and tomorrow, I personally am going to enter my food log into MyFitnessPal right after we get off this call. I haven't had a chance yet today, but before I break my fast. So in other words, I don't want to be sitting there around dinner time and entering my food log for the first time and then realize, oh, I did just have 150 grams of carbs and I did, lack a little bit on the protein front because I hadn't planned. It's going to benefit you in huge ways to pre-plan. So let's go ahead and enter your meals into the MyFitnessPal tool the morning of or even the night before. Maybe you are really a planner and you're looking at, your success plate or whatever the case may be, entering in your meals. Great idea. Let me just get this out there because I know it's going to come up. You guys are going to be angry with Amanda Tress for not providing you a meal plan during week 1. Okay, you're going to be really complaining and moaning about this. I've been running this program for 3 years. I've been running virtual boot camps for 7. I know that you want a meal plan, but I will not give you a meal plan because here's the deal. I could tell you right now, sure, have chicken and broccoli for lunch, have tilapia and asparagus for dinner, have some almonds for a snack, have a protein shake, regular macro day, gluten-free oats, whatever. I can tell you exactly what to do, but you're gonna get sick of it. Also, many of you are vegetarian, many of you are vegan, many of you have families with certain food allergies or sensitivities or preferences. I like to leave room for preferences, and also bioindividuality is a thing. I'm going to give you guidelines. I'm going to give you some ideas in the portal, some ideas in the cookbook if you purchase that. But the minute I give you an exact plan, I'm actually removing your ability or preventing from empowering and equipping you to say, I'm going to take ownership and write out the meal plan per my preferences, per my food sensitivities, per what my family enjoys. I'm going to equip and empower you through this program to create a lifestyle that you can sustain long-term. And again, you are upset with Amanda Tress today, and you can use my name in as many ways as you want that I did not provide you an exact meal plan. Again, I could give it to you all day, every day, but I'm not going to. I intentionally don't give you the meal plan because I want you to say, okay, what will work for me? What will work for my family based on what I have access to, based on what I know my body processes well, based on what my family enjoys. So I just want to get that out there. There is a method to the madness here. It might not be popular. Could I make more money if I offered an expensive meal plan? Absolutely, but that's not what this is about. So I want you to enter those meals into MyFitnessPal the morning of, the night before. We're going to share holiday recipe ideas all week. Very excited about that. I have plenty of boards on Pinterest that you can look at as well. We'll make some more. We are going to focus on gluten-free, dairy-free this week, okay? Besides Thanksgiving, which I'm going to get to, but gluten-free, dairy-free is the name of the game. If it comes from the ground, if it has a mother, really important. Another tip for you, have some simple go-to snacks on hand, okay? So this week, let's have some nuts on hand as you're traveling, maybe even raw veggies, cut them up, maybe some beef jerky. Many of you are gonna grab those hard-boiled eggs, great snack, even the packets of tuna, another great idea. I also like protein balls for the kiddos. We do a lot in the way of protein balls. We add, for regular macro day, oats. We do some honey, peanut butter, sometimes some dark chocolate, all kinds of different things, and then protein powder. So those protein balls are really great for their snacks, and I grab them as well. Shipt is a really great service. SHIPT, deliverable groceries. If you're in an area that has that particular service, great, so that you are not sitting there, oh my gosh, it's Thanksgiving week, I don't have time to get out, I can't do this or that. Shipt is a great option for you. I know there's many other deliverable grocery options as well. But let's try to pre-plan. Let's try to have simple go-to snacks on hand because if we are in a situation where we're traveling or we're at work and then we're hosting and who knows what, and we don't have a plan or we don't have healthy snacks on hand, then we're going to end up, grabbing something that isn't healthy. So we don't want to be in that type of situation. Another quick tip, vary your proteins this week. Look at, if you're sick of grilled chicken already and you're like, we just went through prep week, I'm already sick of chicken. Fish is a good option. Pork, beef, turkey this week, sausage. Let's look for different types of protein so that we don't get stuck in a rut with certain meals and certain protein sources. And focus on healthy fats. Okay, so as we go through week 1, let's focus on healthy fats, carbs, and proteins. Healthy fats would be, for example, coconut oil. Okay, that's a really fantastic healthy fat. Specifically on a low carb macro day, avocados. Put an avocado in your big Cobb salad, another really fantastic healthy fat. Fish. Nuts. I often have nuts on hand. I have them in my desk. I have them in my backpack for the gym. I've got them in the car. Nuts are everywhere. I have them in my office. I have like multiple different types of nuts. Nuts are a really, really good option for you as well. Let me transition very quickly to talking through some of my tips for Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to answer any and all questions that you have in the time we have available. My personal strategy for Thanksgiving will be to extend my fast just a little bit longer than normal because I'm having friends over for Thanksgiving and family, and we're not going to eat Thanksgiving meal until about 2:33. So I'm personally going to run a turkey trot with my 7-year-old, drink a lot of water in the morning, drink my typical coffee, black coffee, spend time with family, make other memories that don't include food through the morning, through the early afternoon. My friends are landing at 11:30. We're going to get them settled in, catch up a bit, and then we're going to have our meal around 2:30. I am not going to track. I am not going to worry about calories. I'm not going to deprive myself of my favorite treats on Thanksgiving. I'm going to have all of my macros probably in one meal, and I'm going to enjoy every last bite of pumpkin pie with a whole lot of whipped cream. Okay, so that is my strategy. Some of you have traditions that start early morning Thanksgiving Day, and you say, well, we always do cinnamon rolls in the morning, and we do this and that. Do it, okay? If that's important to you, do it. I personally am going to break my fast a little bit later in the day. I'm going to enjoy every last bite of the sides and the desserts. But if you say, well, I just don't even want to worry about the fast way to fat loss on Thanksgiving Day, completely fine too. There's not one size fits all. Please do not feel that you have to track macros. Some of you want to, specifically returning clients, you feel a sense of control when you have the opportunity to track macros, totally fine. But here's the deal. Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to eat intuitively. I'm going to enjoy every last bite of my favorite pie. Friday, I'm going to get back on track. Okay, I'm going to fast through the morning. I'm going to break my fast with some leftovers, veggies, turkey, whatever the case may be. At noon, back on track. Okay, so the problem usually for people, clients of mine over the past 10, 15 years, is that the parties and the days surrounding the holidays are what kind of get us. So let's stay on point through the weekend after Thanksgiving. Okay, that's going to be really important. And let's track, let's pre-plan, let's stay accountable in the group. I'm so happy that you guys are in the group for accountability support, really, really huge. But there's no one size fits all. So feel free. Some of you are like, listen, for the first year ever, I'm going to make healthy sides, or I'm going to make a healthy version of my favorite dessert. I don't personally get into the healthified sides or the healthified desserts. I'm like, listen, it's one day I'm going to have the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows, or I'm going to have the pumpkin pie with the gluten and the dairy. That for me is my strategy, but there's no perfect one size fits all answer. So make some decisions now about how you plan to succeed through this week. Post on the page about it, post here on the thread. We're happy to hear what your particular plan is as well. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. Jane says, what workout would you recommend we do on Thanksgiving with that food strategy? Should we do the typical strength training and then have active recovery day on Friday and leg day on Saturday? That's a really great question, Jane. Thank you for asking. Most of you are going to take the day off on Thursday. I'm going to do active recovery in the way of a turkey trot with my 7-year-old. But I have better things to do than go to the gym on Thanksgiving Day. I have family to spend time with. If you have an at-home gym and you want to do some strength training, I mean, that's the day to do it, is on Thursday, use those carbs. Friday, put the carbs to good use. Friday, Saturday, I usually have some of the best workouts of the year the day after the holidays, just because, I have a lot of energy to hit it hard. So enjoy those workouts and really capitalize on the energy that you have. And the cool thing is you are going to rev up your thyroid function with this feast day. It's really interesting because 3 years ago, And I know Amy's on here. A couple of you guys are on here that were with me 3 years ago. You remember we did a feast day every 5th day, and then we did a 24-hour fast every 5th day. The reason we did that was to rev up thyroid function. Really important. And the thing is, many of you are eating more than ever before, and you're going to go on vacation, intuitively eat. You're going to enjoy everything for Thanksgiving. Maybe in the past you were like, oh, I'm just going to have 1,200 calories on Thanksgiving. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get back from this trip, and my clothes are fitting better. I've lost inches. It's really incredible. In fact, next week, on Wednesday, you guys are going to be like, oh my, I just made it through all of Thanksgiving week and I'm feeling lean for the first time in 2 decades. I just made it through and I'm leaner after Thanksgiving. It's very cool to watch that happen. Okay, Emily says, how important is gluten-free, dairy-free aspect? It's very important for this initial 6 weeks. We want to eliminate foods that would cause inflammation. Many of you have sensitivities coming in. You have IBS symptoms, whatever the case may be. Let's eat foods that come from the ground, have a mother. Whole food nutrition is so important. Thanksgiving Day, doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. But other than that, let's do the gluten-free, dairy-free through VIP. Many of my clients, they reintroduce gluten, dairy. Raw dairy isn't the issue. Gluten isn't the issue. It's the gross manipulation of our foods. That's the issue. And many of you are going to feel so much better. You're going to overcome all kinds of different symptoms legally. I'm not going to tell you exactly, what we're going to solve here, but just trust me on this. Gluten-free, dairy-free, really fantastic idea for our first 6 weeks here. All right, Beth, I made brown rice and sweet potatoes and yes, fruit. Yay. Jessica, I remember feast and fast. Yes. Oh my gosh, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica. Oh, I'm so happy to have you back in this group. Yeah. Those were hard days for me, the feast day and the fast day, but it works. I prefer for clients as a whole now the 16-8, and we'll incorporate some 24-hour fasts, weeks 4, 5, and 6. So stay tuned for that because I will be on some live trainings telling you guys a little bit about that. Okay, Andrea, I run and lead a class at 9 in the morning. Should I still fast until noon? Absolutely. Yes, definitely. All right, Teresa, does goat cheese fall under dairy? I personally eliminate goat cheese most of the time because this is so weird. I'm very in tune with how different foods make me feel. I feel like sad the day after having goat cheese. I don't know why. I'm just like sad. And other dairy makes me break out and lots of inflammation and puffy and the whole thing. But just really listen to your body as you reincorporate some of these foods and see how you feel. Even eggs. I unfortunately am sensitive to eggs too. Lots of issues. Hillary, round 2 for me. Woohoo! Going to 24-hour fast and eat Thanksgiving dinner. Ooh, good for you. Brittany, I'm a part-time RN and work 7 to 7 on Sunday and Monday. I sleep until about 4 the next day. How do I adjust my fast? Really good question, and it will depend kind of each day. I have coaches and many, many clients who have overnight shifts. This week, so let's see here, Sunday and Monday and then Sunday nights. I sleep until about 4 the next day. How do I adjust my fast? It seems like what we'll need to do, and Lindsay Reynolds might post about this in your group, or we can kind of go back and forth with your client specialist. We might just have to adjust those 2 days and do that 16-hour. So maybe you're eating overnight, but we'll just eliminate that eating overnight. There's probably a few different ways that we can do it, and it might be a process where we find the best way. But again, I have hundreds of clients who do overnight shifts, and then I have coaches as well who are practitioners and different things and do overnight shift. Okay, Lori, during prep week, I found it challenging that I work out at 5:30 but don't break fast until 11. Anyone else? Any advice? Prep week is challenging. Week 1 is challenging. You're going to transition your body from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. Be sure that you're hitting your macro minimums the day before. That is absolutely key. And if you have to move your feeding window up till 10, completely fine. But there's going to be a big benefit of having a longer fasted window. So we might have to make adjustments, Lori. We'll kind of settle in through the next week or 2 and see how you feel before breaking the fast. Be sure you're drinking a lot of water. You might try some BCAAs as well. Different things to kind of help with the appetite. But if you need to move your feeding window up, that's totally fine. Stephanie says, gotta stay busy in the morning, then not so bad. All right. Christy, I have 3 different Thanksgiving meals on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I love it. There will be better food on Saturday. Will that be better for me to skip out on Thursday and Friday meals? I would probably do more normal macros with a focus on veggies and lean protein, good fats Thursday, Friday. And then, yeah, make your splurge meal Saturday, which is leg day, which is so perfect. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. All right, Amanda, any suggestions for us mamas who still have littles to feed each morning? Will I eventually not be tempted as much by preparing them food? That's a good question. My kiddos still eat breakfast, but now it's not at all tempting for me. I'm just not hungry in the morning, and I feel so much better. You're going to start to really feel the benefits, the positive benefits of staying fasted through the morning. If kiddos are asking about what you're doing, typically, even with Emma this past weekend, I was talking about, breaking my fast later because she'll have breakfast in the morning, and she knows that everything I do is to help my body, be stronger. And I talk a lot about, well, God wants us to eat fruits and veggies and, different things. And so she understands kind of why I do what I do. But yes, it'll absolutely get better. Okay, Amy, I can testify that you'll get used to it. Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing intermittent fasting for years and can cook large breakfast for food. Yes, thank you, Amy. All right, Kendra says, is there one method better than another? Working out before you break your fast or after? Great question. The best workout is the one that you fit into your schedule. Okay, all of us are busy. I personally am unable to work out in the morning because I'm checking on you guys. I'm getting ready for live trainings. I work out in the afternoon after breaking my fast. So I break my fast around noon. Then I work out around 2:33. I also work out in the afternoon because I want to see how much stress I've been under through the workday. And then based on that, I kind of know how hard to work out. I like to throttle back if my stress has been very high, just simply because I want to prevent adrenal fatigue, any of those types of issues. And also my mood tends to dip a little bit in the afternoon, so it kind of helps me get through the second half of the day. If you prefer morning workouts because you can check it off the list and you're more consistent, go for it. That is fantastic. Then you're able to burn fat longer. If you're like me and your schedule is such that you're not able to get in a workout until later in the day, completely fine. I just want you guys to do what works for you long term. This is meant to be a lifestyle that you can maintain. And I don't want you to have to say, I had to work out at 4:30 so that I could fit in my workout before my feeding window and this, that, and the other. Like, that's nonsense. We don't need a program like that. Okay, Kathy says, larger portions of your carbs and planning it the night before or morning of. Yes. Okay, absolutely. Jessica, having trouble, yep, so I think that was having trouble meeting carbs only without going over on protein and fats. Any suggestions? Still having hunger pangs around 9 or 10, maybe this is why. If you're having hunger pangs around 9 or 10 in the morning or 9 or 10 at night, we know that we need to bump up your protein and your fat. It's expensive for your body to digest processed protein and fat, but it's really important that we hit those protein minimums. Protein is vital for success through this program because we're going to develop lean calorie burning muscle to maximize your metabolism with the proper amount of protein. Okay, so let's focus on that protein. Protein today, low carb macro day, is going to be similar to our regular macro day. Protein's going to be fairly stable. The fats are going to change and the carbs are going to change depending on regular macro, which is a high carb day, or low macro, which is a low carb day, and then kind of fats fill in the rest. Okay, Leanna says, I'm doing a turkey trot on Thursday and I'm worried about fasting during a workout. I tend to get a little dizzy when I don't eat. Here's my advice. You've got to hit your macro minimums the day before. If you hit your macro minimums the day before, you're going to be absolutely fine. And this is where we're transitioning your body from being a sugar burner and just simply always burning off glycogen to now burning fat. How many of us here want to burn a little bit of fat? All right, Corey, is it okay to work out in the evening? Yep, absolutely, if that's what works for you. Jeannie says, do you limit the gluten and dairy with your kids as well? I absolutely do. And actually, I found out a couple years ago around Thanksgiving that Emma is sensitive to gluten and dairy. And again, it's not gluten and it's not raw dairy that's the issue. Some of you, I have clients who have a dairy farm. Raw dairy is not the issue. It's the gross manipulation of our foods that's the issue. And I found out that Emma also was sensitive to gluten and dairy. And so I do a paleo lifestyle for the kiddos. We do a lot of protein, lean protein, a lot of veggies, a lot of fruit. My 10-month-old, best eater I've ever come, like unbelievable eater. She's loves fruits, veggies, meat. Really, really, great to kind of start them young on that. But yeah, I do limit gluten and dairy for sure. Even in their lunches, we don't really do any gluten or dairy. All right, I'm going to answer just a couple more questions and then I do have to hop off. Okay. Tina says, can you explain what you mean by gross manipulation? Absolutely. So I said the gross manipulation of our foods is the issue. So for example, string cheese is not raw dairy. Let's be clear. Most yogurts, very, very processed, lots and lots of sugar and ingredients that we really shouldn't be putting into our bodies. Okay, God has created different foods that we should put into our bodies to process. But unfortunately, man, has grossly manipulated different foods, and it causes all kinds of issues. Foods are one of the biggest toxins and one of the biggest reasons that we have so much disease running rampant and food sensitivities and the whole thing. So you guys, as we focus on whole foods through this program, are really going to feel a fantastic quality of life. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question. So Jen says, how quickly should my body adjust and notice hunger pangs early AM, PM? I'd give yourself till week 2, day 3, so next Wednesday, and we'll see how the transition's going. That's typically a good amount of time to say, okay, we've kind of been settling in. We've been able to make that transition from sugar burner to pro-fat burner. So usually that's going to be a really good timeline. All right, ladies, I am so excited for this week. You are going to absolutely thrive. I am here for you. I want you to be hugely successful. My client specialists are on the page to support you, answer your questions. We've got returning clients who are on here this thread as well, answering questions. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving, since I won't see you face to face before then, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.